Okay, today we are going to try and make something that I haven't seen yet, but I thought I'd give it a try. So this is either going to be an epic failure or an epic success. First off, we need gelatin, and we need the cornstarch, and we need 1 cup of water. But I'm going to do this one a little bit differently. I am going to take 3/4 cup water in that one. Three-quarter cup water in that one. Now, this is my 2 ounces of gelatin, which is a pain in the butt to sit here and rip every one of them open. Remember, if you've got any questions about what you're using that will be put internally, when in doubt, check it out. Always be aware and comfortable with what you're using in your body. Okay, we have that, and I'm just going to mix this up a little bit. This is already trying to gel up. It does not want to mix well, that is for sure. So I'm not going to use the knife. I am going to try and find a halfway decent spatula. But this is a very cheap one, so it is bending a lot. Now, I have no heat on this at the moment. So there is no heat trying to activate this, blah, 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 blah. I am going to turn this on low heat to 2. And now the cornstarch is going in the front one, which I am going to bring up to a 6, so it will actually boil. I'm going 3 teaspoons, roughly. Yeah. And no, I'm not sitting there, wiping it off, making sure it's that. That's why I say I do about 3 to 4 teaspoons. And for some reason, that was extremely sticky at the bottom of that pot. It's almost like this pot doesn't like my little whisk. This is not a metal whisk. This is just a little cheap whisk I got at the dollar store. So I have this going with that. Now, that is just sitting there curing, or what do they call it? Like rising, like yeast or something. I don't know. I don't like it. So this is all mixed up, solid white. I'm going to take this, which was already starting to melt down a little bit, and I'm going to mix it in here. Although I've been told you're not supposed to boil gelatin. I don't know if that screws it up, if it inactivates it or whatever. You can tell I do not pick my words and then look them up and make sure I speak right. I'm from the South, I speak my mind. It's this really flimsy spatula won't even get that off the bottom. And it's honestly not even stuck, it's just a very crappy spatula. Remember, you get what you pay for, but I don't want to put a lot of money into this because I know this is stuff that can get ruined. Oh, and gelatin is extremely sticky, which is going to make this kind of defeat the purpose, maybe? I don't know why I thought this would work, but it did. You have one that does one thing, one that does another, which is the cornstarch makes the lubricant, and then the gelatin makes an egg, makes your gelatin egg. So if I can get the lubricant to gel up and then dissolve at room temperature or body temperature, oh yeah, they are starting to blend pretty good. And like I say, I don't like the idea of boiling the gelatin, so I'm keeping an eye on it. It is melting down pretty fast. And this ended up being a cup and a half, by the way. 3/4 and 3/4 is a cup and a half. And of course, now I have bubbles because of the way I did that. But I mean, this is just my idea. You can always try different ingredients, try different mixtures. You could have mixed it all together at one time. I don't know if it works or not. If it does work and you try a different design than mine, please put it in the comments. Let me know. Share it with other people. Us freaky people have to stick together. Well, unless you want to lubricate and then you slide apart. Okay, this has actually turned into a very liquidy soup mix. There's still a couple little chunks in here, but nothing major. I am getting the foam, which I was warned about with gelatin. Probably because I'm whipping it so fast. Ooh, whip it good. No. So keep that in mind when you're making your mixture, that you may end up with the foam. It's definitely hard to tell which one is which. Because on one hand, it's supposed to be getting thicker with the cornstarch, making the lube, and then you want the gelatin to get thinner. Excuse me. Almost like beating a dead horse. Or one step forward, two steps back. Whichever, whatever area you're from, I'm sure you have your own saying for things like that. And I'd like to know your little sayings. I want to get to know everybody from everywhere. And there might be something over in the UK, Russia, China, Australia. I don't care where you're from, but you may have an idea that we've never heard of. I may have an idea you've never heard of. I think knowledge is the key to us coming together. And if I can take the most taboo thing to talk about in existence for some reason and turn it into something fun, and I can get everybody start talking about it, maybe it won't be a taboo anymore. All right, this is actually getting kind of liquidy and transparent. So I'm going to calm down on the stirring because I'm hoping to get rid of some of these bubbles. But at the same time, I think this is about done. Like I said, I do not want to bring it to a boil because I've been told that that could affect the gelatin. And that's not the purpose of this one. So, and when I measured this mold out earlier, it looked like it took 2 cups. So I may not get solid eggs on this. All right, I'm going to kill that heat. All right. And I'm going to take this and put it in the large egg mold. Which apparently with all the ingredients, it went up to its measurement of 2 cups. But I only used 1 cup of water. A cup and a half, I'm sorry. I used a cup and a half of water. So, there we go. And I will not stick it in the refrigerator for a couple of hours. I won't make you guys wait. You know that. I will cut this so I go back to the refrigerator and you guys don't have to wait so long. All right. My first attempt at the lube egg. And boy, is this thing stuck together. It is not playing. This is extremely bonded together. Yes, this is almost like rubber again. Seriously, like rubber. Now, I have extremely long and sharp fingernails. They're extremely strong. You may need a butter knife. This is definitely taking some effort to do. But here we go. We're down to the nitty gritty here. And these have made very nice insertable eggs. And this is the lube made into a gel. So as it dissolves, it should become slippery. Holy crap, that got extremely slippery extremely fast. This is just lukewarm water. I'll move these out of the way. And honestly, that feels about body temperature. And this is extremely slippery now. I mean, I can't describe this. This is definitely making its own lubricant as it melts, and it is melting pretty well, especially if it gets in a wet, moist area, a warm, moist area. It is going to make great lube. And apparently, this would be a chore to keep in yourself. Keep this in mind. You may shoot this thing out of yourself. This feels extreme. Okay, that water is just a hair warmer than body temperature. But, man, and this is turning into just a natural lube that would coat as far as deep or as far as you get it to go. This is almost like a lubricating bullet. Now, it is not dissolving quickly. I wish I could describe this, how slimy it's getting. And the fact that it just keeps on going. And it's adding a little bit to my hands, but not a lot. But I'm not sitting there holding it in place either. So there is lube on my hand now. My hands are definitely getting coated with the lube. But this is going to take a long time to dissolve. All right, I'm going to leave that in there a minute. Oh, this is extremely soft now. It's been 5 minutes, And this is definitely just coming apart. And this is turning into extreme lube. This is going to make a mess, which you may be into. Or I may recommend a smaller size on your mold. It depends on what you like to do, what you get into, but this is definitely making lube. I don't know how well that's showing up, but my hand actually has lube all over it. And that was about 5 or 6 minutes. It's been over 6 minutes now. But warning, if you're using a device with this, if this gets hit when it's first put in, it may make it extremely long, and it may go even further in. It may feel like the tip of whatever, or add to the tip, which could be painful to some people. Some people like that. Some people do not. But be aware, when these things are fresh, hard as a rock, they could be pushed extremely hard and fast, and this could end up being painful. This turned into a whole bunch of lube, and this now feels more malleable, pliable, almost like elastic or rubber, but it's definitely squeezable now. And this is making a big, big mess of lube. I'm surprised this turned out so well. It has now been 8 minutes, and that's what that looks like. I'm going to let it go the full 10 minutes. Okay, it has now been 10 minutes. This is extremely soft and still just turning to goo. Oh, and just to note, this is the top of this, and it has not started dissolving yet. It is still kind of cool, but it's still in a solid state. I don't know if these will keep well outside, but this isn't as cold. And this is just a mess. Honestly, if you're needing lube, this is definitely making it. And it keeps making it. So, if you're using devices, be very careful, because I think you could slip. If you're using a significant other, they could slip and you could hit the Great Divide. But yes, this is definitely extremely squishable, and I'd say if something was hitting this, it could probably start knocking chunks off, because my thumb is starting to slide through this. So it is chunking, and once it does this, it's going to dissolve even quicker. So in conclusion, the lubricating egg has worked better than I thought it would. I am very impressed with this. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. Hit that notification buzzer, bell, whatever, to get notified of my next videos. Thank you.